This is assignment 17. Greatest common factor. Okay. Now, greatest common factor is not a mystery. It is literally exactly what it says it is. Greatest means the largest, right? So like if I have two numbers, 3 and 8, which one is the largest? 8 is the largest. Okay, common means shared. Common means shared. So like alligators and crocodiles, that is definitely not how you spell crocodile, sorry, well, I don't know, have a lot in common, right? That means they share a lot of features. Okay, and then factor. We have been talking about factors. This is a number that multiplies. So for example, if I have the number 15, then 5 and 3 are factors. These are factors right here. Okay, so if I'm looking for the greatest common factor, it means I'm looking for the largest factor, number that multiplies, that's shared between 2 or 3 numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. Okay, now in the examples, I want to find the greatest common factor of, and we're going to start with finding the greatest common factor of 2 numbers. So let's say I want to find the greatest common factor of 10 and 15. Okay, here's how I do it. Okay, and there's a few different strategies you could use here, but let's just kind of go with the simplest, the one that we can kind of do in our heads for the most part. What are the factors of 10? What are the numbers that I can multiply and get 10? So a good way to do this is to just think like, okay, I can start with 1. I can do 1 times 10. I can do 2 times 5. And then just think, okay, can I multiply 3? No. 4? No. 5? Oh, I already got 5. Okay, so these are the factors of 10. What are the factors of 15? Well, I can do 1 times 15. I can do 2? No. I can do 3? Yep, 3 times 5. So these are the factors of 15. So these are factors. Now, what do they have in common? Well, they have the 1 in common and the 5 in common. So which factor is the greatest? Which one's the largest? Well, 5 and 1 are common factors, but 5 is larger, is greater. So 5 is the greatest common factor between 10 and 15. Now, what if I had 16 and 18? And I'm looking for the greatest common factor. Okay, now 16 has some factors, right? It's like I could do 1 times 16. I could do 2 times 8. No, 3. I could do 4 times 4. 5, no, 6, no, 7, no. Okay, so that's all the factors of 16. Okay, now 18. I could do 1 times 18. I could do 2 times 9. I could do 3 times 6. How about 4, 5? No. Okay. So now 16 and 18, there's a common factor here, 1. 1 is always going to be a common factor, right? There's a common factor here, 2. And then look, are there any other common factors? Let's see, 4, no, 4 is not over here. 8, no. 16, no. So look here, 2 is the greatest common factor. 2 is the greatest common factor. What about 4 and 36? Okay, now what are the factors of 4? Well, I could do 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. Now listen, 36 has a bunch of factors, a bunch. Now I could list them all out, right? I could be like, okay, well, 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, and 6 times 6. I could list them all out. But really, I didn't need to, right? Because I really didn't need to list any factors bigger than 4. Because there's no way they're gonna share a factor that's greater than 4, because there is no number greater than 4 that's a factor of this one. So there's no way that they're going to share anything greater than 4. So really, once I looked at 36, and I think to myself, does 36 divide by 4? Yeah, it does. So if that means 4 is going to be a factor over here, and it's going to be a factor over here, and the greatest common factor is 4. And that's like not too uncommon that the greatest common factor is actually just the smaller number, right? Like if this was 5 and 25, the greatest common factor would be 5. If this was 10 and 70, the greatest common factor would be 10, right? So sometimes that happens where the greatest common factor is just the smaller number, all right? So you're going to go ahead and set up your practice space right now. As you move forward in Edge Elastic, you're going to do problem number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right here on this page. Ask for help if you need it.